Welcome to the Trust Factor Radio, bringing you interviews and insights to unlock the power of the subconscious mind to create authority, credibility, and trust. With your host, the Authority Architect and best-selling author, Neil Howe.
Hello and welcome to the show. This is your host, Neil Howe, and today's guest is Shirley Cress Dudley, and she is a best-selling author and founder of SCD Consulting Services in Charlotte, North Carolina. And Shirley and her team help local and national businesses rank well in the search engines and get more business through optimized websites and traffic sent to their site. And their main focus is medical practices due to Shirley's medical background. And they also help any small to medium-sized local or national business grow. Shirley also enjoys working with entrepreneurs and creating online businesses herself by taking the knowledge from their practice or brick and mortars and developing a business that can be run anywhere online on their own schedule, which is definitely a great place to be. Welcome to the show, Shirley Cress Dudley.
Thank you very much.
Well, tell us a little bit more about yourself, Shirley, and SCD Consulting.
Yes, so SCD Consulting Services was founded in 2010. I had created other businesses before that online, and one of them was I had an online practice, Blended Family Advice, helping blended families, and also had my own practice. During that time, I worked in the hospital systems for both Novant and Carolina Healthcare, so I'd managed subspecialty medical practices, and I was trying to figure out what I wanted to do next. I wanted to create a business online and use the different skills that I had already learned. So through the first business, the Blended Family business, I had learned social media and SEO and website design. And through the medical practices, I learned a lot about what it takes to make a medical practice successful. So that was my first niche, was working with doctors and some dentists, designing their websites and then optimizing them for the search engines to get them more traffic and get them more patients. And then since then, I branched out to other niches in addition to outside of medical.
Well, that's great to learn those kind of skills as you were going there. Website design, social media, SEO, they are extremely important skills for any business person to learn. And the medical industry certainly seems one of the industries that don't necessarily have time to learn it themselves, and they need somebody else to do it for them. So tell me about the kind of businesses that you help then. Are there any particular niches within the medical industry that you work with most? And then, tell me what kind of problems that they will have.
Well, as far as in medical, mostly the ones that are self-pay, as far as cosmetic dentists, cosmetic surgery, plastic surgery, aesthetic dermatology, LASIK eye surgery, and then for dentists, cosmetic dentists. Other niches would be attorneys, or even roofers. Anyone that their average product or service value is from $1,000 to $10,000 are ones that we can 10 times their return with our services. And I did want to back up a little and say it started out with just me. But since then, I've hired people smarter than me, and I have a dozen people, some part-time and some full-time, that focus on different areas. Some are doing the writing, some are doing the webmaster, the web design. But I make sure that I hired an expert in each field, and I also have a couple of people that part of their job is to stay up to date with Google's algorithm changes and the different search engine changes so that we modify our search services and keep them up to date. Because as you said, the doctor and any professional is focusing on their area of expertise with their patient or with their client. and they can't stay up to date with the internet. And it's very hard for me as one person to do that also. So I have a team that specifically will search for the different changes and make sure that our services stay up to date.
Well, congratulations on that, Shirley. Growing the business is a hard thing to do for many people, but to have a team of 12 working for you, it definitely says that you're having great success. Tell me about the problems then that these medical practices are having in regards to their digital marketing.
Several problems. One would be getting stuck in contracts, signing on with some of these major organizations, and I don't want to name in any of them, but signing on and being stuck in a 1 or 2 year contract that they cannot get out of. And they're paying a high monthly fee and not seeing any changes or any improvement in their business or in the search engines. And that makes us different. We don't have any contracts. People can cancel with a 30-day notice, and it's only based on them achieving their goals and reaching the amount of patients and the amount of exposure that they want to have on the internet, not based on a contract. Another problem would be it's been called white hat, gray hat, and black hat. And if you think of the American cowboys and their white hat, is that in the past with SEO, there have been people that want to do the quick way to the top of the search engines, and it might be gray hat or a black hat. So it would be the keyword stuffing, the hiding the words in the footer, or doing thousands of backlinks to unrelated sites. And Google and the other little auto bots that search the websites were not quite as smart back then, and it could push a website up into the search engines, top of the search engines very fast. But then eventually, Google and other search engines would figure it out, and then the site would go way back down, actually be sandboxed. So now the little Autobots are very, very smart, and you can't get away with the gray hat and the black hat. Well, my company has always done the white hat services. So everything we do is manual. We don't use any machines. Everything it is not automated. It's all done carefully and within what's acceptable in the algorithms. And when the sites move up, then they stay higher in the search engines. Another problem, I think, is just the prevalence of SEO people. If I'm in a crowded room, if I stood up and said, how many people do search engine optimization, or how many people do website design, who in the room does digital marketing, I would guess 3 to 6 people would raise their hand. Because right now it seems to be the hot career, the ones that the kids getting out of college are doing, the ones that the old marketers that have been doing the magazine and the newspaper marketing 20 years ago, and they think they can jump on the digital age. For some reason, there are so many people believing that they can do this business. So even if they have a beautiful website, and unfortunately, even if they have glowing reviews, they might not be real reviews, and the people may have no idea what they're doing. And I think that's very scary, but for my clients, but also it makes the field of SEO very, very competitive right now, but stuffed with a lot of people that really don't know what they're doing.
So, this is the Trust Factor radio show, and trust is a big issue with any business that is about to pay some money for a service. How do you get around that? What are the questions that somebody should be asking if they are looking to deal with a reputable SEO company?
Oh, that's an excellent question. One is to check their references, ask for references, and then check them out. I have a couple of doctors that will give out their cell phone numbers where prospective clients can call and talk to them personally. Check out the websites that they say that they've done and look at their work. Another way is to investigate the person, the owner of the company. From my background in medical practices, I have a fellow in the American College of Medical Practice Executives, and I'm also a member of MGMA, Medical Group Management Association. And so I regularly post on the MGMA site, and my website is also listed on the AMA site, the American Medical Association site. And seeing my website at those different places, or seeing those credentials that doctors might recommend, give me a little bit more trust and a little bit more authority in their eyes, that I understand what they need and that I am reliable. I always send people to my LinkedIn profile to check me out and learn more about me. And then the final way to earn that trust from a prospective client is to not have contracts, to not hook them in for a year or 2 years or even 6 months. I think it's best to let them be able to cancel at any time they're not satisfied. Because if we're not doing good work, we're not helping and bringing them more customers and increasing their business, then I really don't think they should use us. Now, interestingly enough, I have had some clients cancel because I brought them too much business. And they said, we can't handle all the business you're sending us. We need to slow down. So even that, I think, was a good compliment. But I do believe that helps with the trust.
Oh, yes, definitely. And, I think you really hit the nail on the head with the contracts. If somebody's not happy, then you're not doing what you're supposed to be doing. And people that try and get these long-term contracts, yes, there's a little bit of safety in there for the company, but it's not necessarily putting the client's interest first. So talk to me, Shirley, about the results that you get. SEO is generally a long play. It's not something that happens necessarily overnight anymore. What are the expectations for a new medical company that's decided to hire you for SEO?
You're right. We used to be able to bring a website up in the search engines within a couple of days or less than a week, and it does take longer now. And Google really doesn't want us to completely understand. That's why I have 2 people assigned to figuring out the algorithm changes, is they don't want to make it easy for us. They want us to produce good content and relevant content and keep the websites up to date and refreshed. That's what they want. They don't want us to game the system or figure out what they want and do that. So the results that we get are increasing traffic, and then having the clients choose keywords. We actually ask for 8 to 10 main keywords, and we write 2 original content each week. A minimum of 450 words, and I have several writers. Right now I have 3 American writers, and that's crucial too, that are highly trained in SEO, and they create 2 articles for each of our clients each week, and they're posted on the website, on offsite blogs, on social media. And we do other things to create backlinks pointing to the website. But what it does is send traffic to the website and then push the website up in the search engines for those 8 to 10 keyword phrases. Keyword phrases that people would use to find that particular type business. So those are the kind of results that we get. We want to get them on the first page. Usually we see a very small difference within a month, and by 3 months there's usually a big jump, and then the following months it's just a gradual increase every single month as far as the traffic and moving up in the search engines. And something else that makes my company different is we only offer our services to one type business in each market area. So if I have a plastic surgeon in Charlotte, for example, then I would not help any other plastic surgeon in the Charlotte area. And that surgeon would define what his market area was. For example, if you're familiar with Charlotte, he could say all the way up to Lake Norman and Concord and as far down as Rock Hill. And those are small little towns to the north and to the south of Charlotte. So I let the client choose what is their market area, and as long as I work with them, I don't work with any of their competitors. And that definitely makes a difference because there are only 10 spots on the home page of Google, and I don't want to compete against myself. And my team also gets very competitive, and that becomes our plastic surgeon for Charlotte. And we work very hard to push his or her keywords up in the search engines.
Yes, I do like the competitive nature of SEO, and you go into bat for your plastic surgeon, like you say. It is definitely ethical just to work with the one and not try and compete against yourself. Shirley, what would you say are the pillars of SEO? What things does a business really need to look at in order to get their SEO done properly?
One is the website, and especially working with doctors and also attorneys and some other fields, is they will pay tens of thousands of dollars for a new website, which we do not charge that much for a new optimized website. But for some reason, they feel like if they pay more, it must be better. So they go and find some very expensive website designer and get their website designed, and then they wonder why they're not showing up in the search engines. When we start working with them, we go in and fix the guts of the website. We can copy or create any type design. So their gorgeous design, we can copy in about 3 days and put it into a template that we can put SEO plugins, and we can fix the inside of the website, the guts of the website, so that it attracts the search engines. Then that helps. That'll help them move up just a little bit, but it won't be enough. Then we need to do keyword research and figure out what are the primary keywords that people use to find them. For example, I have worked with a cosmetic dentist, and he suggested the words that he thought would be his primary keywords, but we found that the top word was afraid of the dentist. And those were the people that haven't been to the dentist in 10, 15 years, and they needed dental implants or veneers. They needed a lot of work done. And they also needed a dentist that would be able to treat them gently and carefully to be able to get all of that work done. So his primary keyword that brought him the most type of business was afraid of the dentist. So fixing the guts of the website, optimizing it for the search engines, knowing what the keywords are. And then when we know what the primary keywords are, it's creating fresh content. So Google wants to see fresh content to the website every week. And those are the ones that they consider more, and I'll say it in quotes, important. The ones that have relevant and fresh content. And then I guess the last pillar would be, two more. Backlinks, doing directory and citation listings, and then also making sure that the Google local listing is up to date and optimized.
Very good. There's definitely a lot to be done there. Let's take me through the journey, if you will, of this keyword that you just mentioned, afraid of the dentist. If somebody is typing that in the Charlotte area, how do they end up on your client's website?
Well, if they put in afraid of the dentist, then which that's an interesting story, actually. That was one of my original clients that I worked with for 5 years, and he was so excited about the work that we did that his best friend actually went into a competitor's business at one point and started doing SEO. So he probably still ranks for afraid of the dentist, but he thought it would be the word cosmetic dentist or implants, that those would be his primary keywords. But then when we did this, we did a Google keyword using the Google keyword tool. So using Google Webmaster Tools, figuring out that a lot of people in the Charlotte area were putting in something like a longer tail keyword. I'm afraid of the dentist, but I have a broken tooth. I'm afraid of the dentist, and I haven't been for years. So they're putting in these longer phrases that all have afraid of the dentist in it. And that's how it came up.
Is that something that they're typing into Google as a question, or would that be more of a social media post that they might be saying that?
It could be either. So
okay.
Different phrases that people would use. So it was not one that we would have thought of, but it came up in the keyword research tool that was a popular word. To use another one, I have a facial plastic surgeon in Charlotte, and some of his primary keywords are rhinoplasty and nose job. And those are different phrases for the same thing, getting nose surgery.
So it's extremely important to have a look at the keywords that are actually getting traffic and writing the content to rank for them, rather than, just asking a client which keywords do you want to rank for, and not necessarily seeing the results.
Absolutely. One more example I just thought of would be an ophthalmologist that I've worked with. The ophthalmologist did LASIK eye surgery. But if you think about it, how many people do you know that sit down at the computer and say, what is the closest ophthalmologist to me? Or I need an ophthalmologist to have eye surgery. It's a horribly long word to spell. We put in, I need an eye doctor, or I need eye surgery, but we don't put in the long word ophthalmologist. So it turned out that was not one of the words that we optimized for his website.
Very important point. Now, as far as I know, you said you've got 2 staff members that are really keeping up with what is going on in regards to the different algorithms. I believe there is one major algorithm coming, probably the biggest since Penguin, that really hurt a lot of people many years ago. And that is Google's Mobile First Index. Can you tell me what you know about the Mobile First Index and why that's going to be important?
Well, it is important for everyone to have an optimized website and a site that works that is responsive to all devices, a site that is mobile friendly. And you can actually Google that. Is my website mobile friendly? And Google will give you the play-by-play of what you need to change in your website. But we're using more our devices. Our phones are getting larger. Some of our phones are the size of tablets, and some people are not using the desktop as much. It's still a lot of people using desktops. I believe mobile is about 1/3 right now with some of my clients as far as the use, but we've gone through and made sure that all of the sites are mobile friendly, responsive to all devices. We've had to create separate mobile sites for each client so that you can navigate them easily. And then also adding the SSL certificate is something new that all of the sites need. Google is starting to mark sites secure or insecure, and that hurts or helps them in the search engines.
And that would be another trust issue as well. If somebody's going to your website and it's got a big not secure sign on it, the first thing that they're going to do is go and find somebody else who is secure.
Absolutely. And it's interesting because your site did not used to have a SSL certificate unless you were selling something on the site where people would purchase a product or service from the website. But now Google wants all of the websites to be secure. And something that we are discovering, which will save probably anyone listening on this call money, is there are a lot of emails going out saying your website is not secure, and we can make it secure for $49.99 or for $69 or different amounts of money. But what we're discovering is the hosting companies that we use, and we favor 2 American hosting companies, and we always make sure that the client's website domain is in their name and the hosting is in their name. We don't do any hosting. We want to make sure the client has full control of his website. But what we're discovering is the hosting companies are catching up a little now, and they're all offering free SSL certificates. Now, not if you have a hosting package with multiple websites, but at least one website on each hosting package is offering a free SSL certificate. So that's the newest scam out there, are the companies offering to make your site secure, because you can purchase an SSL certificate separately. But what we're discovering is the hosting companies are offering it for free. So don't fall for the emails offering for some outside company to make your site secure.
That is a great piece of advice, Shirley. Thank you for that. I know there's a lot of people that have been looking at taking some action on that and not really knowing what to do. So contacting your hosting company would probably be the first and best idea on that. Tell me, Shirley, is there anything specific that is working now for your clients in regards to SEO that is just really making a tremendous difference?
Video is important. It's always been important. It's still very important. Social media. We try to be on the major venues. The most major ones would be Twitter, Facebook. We're on Google. I don't see as big a difference, but if it makes Google happy, we do the Google Plus. But getting that fresh content out there and then posting it to different places and linking back. And social media is a great way to do that. Now, when I say social media, I don't just mean posting happy phrases, or Google is actually penalizing people on social media now for asking questions about, do you like the blue one or the red one, or yes or no, and trying to take polls and trying to get people to participate in social media, but it's unrelated to their product or service. It's unrelated to their business, and Google sees that as just spamming, and it hurts a website. So it's
that's interesting to know. I definitely see a lot of businesses doing that, just trying to get some kind of engagement and eyeballs looking at their site, but Google or Facebook is now penalizing that.
Yes, because the search engines are getting smarter. The little Autobots, as I call them, are getting much smarter, and content is always going to be most important. Fresh, relevant content, also answering questions. Google loves it because when we get on the internet, a lot of times we're looking for something or we're asking a question. So if your business or practice can answer questions related to the product or service that you offer, then you end up in that top part, the snippets in Google, or you also end up in the top of the search engines because you're answering the question in the best way.
Excellent. And that's why you're doing 2 articles a week for all your clients to continually have new content going out and keeping their website active.
Yes, precisely.
Shirley, what are some of the myths out there about SEO or some misconceptions that you've heard?
One misconception, I had it happen this week. There are also sites that I'll go on and bid for jobs, and someone came back to me and said, I'm trying to decide between you and someone else, and the other company says they can guarantee first place ranking in a month. And I responded, the chances of me getting you first place in a month are very good, but no one can guarantee you a certain spot on Google unless it's paid advertising. And if it's paid, most people don't click on that anyway. So the misconception is anytime anyone can guarantee you that a certain phrase or a certain word will have a definite position on Google, that's not possible.
So quickly, on the point that you mentioned there, most people aren't clicking on the paid. Where are they clicking when they get to the first page?
Well, they'll either click on the local or the natural or organic. And Google will label the paid listing as advertisements, but it's interesting because I've handed a laptop or an iPad to different people, and I've just put in a search, and I'd say, show me what you'll click on first. And they say, well, I'm not going to click on the top because those aren't the good ones. And I'll say, what do you mean? What do you mean those aren't the good ones? And they say, I don't know. I'm just going to start right here. And even people that don't realize that they're paid ads, for some reason, just subconsciously go down to the organic and natural. And I've done that with a lot of different lay people, and they say, well, I don't know why I start on the where it looks like it's the local map, and then I move down to the ones underneath. So the people that even have no idea what they're doing skip the ads. So we don't spend any money at all in Google Ads. We will a little in Facebook, although it's been a little bit less effective with a lot of the recent changes and the information that Facebook can use, which I agree with Facebook not holding all that information, but you could do some very, very specific advertising on Facebook in months past that you can no longer do. But Google paid ads was very effective several years ago, but we don't use it at all right now.
Yep, there's definitely many ways that you can get eyeballs to the website, but SEO is definitely one of those ways that captures people's attention when they're actually searching and looking for results. So SEO has always been one of the best ways to get good quality traffic. So, Shirley, give me an example of one of the businesses that really stands out in your mind that you have worked with and helped. What kind of problems were they having when they first came to you? How were you able to help solve those problems? And ultimately, what was the outcome for that business? What did it mean to them on the bottom line?
Well, most of our clients, what it means is a 10-to-1 return on their investment as far as getting new patients or new clients to call them. I tell them that search engine optimization, what we do, online marketing, is one tool in their toolbox. That's not all there is. They still need to network. They still need to do other forms of advertising. And when someone calls and answers the phone, they need to have a receptive, friendly person ready to answer the phone and talk to that prospective patient. So letting them know that we're one piece of the puzzle, but that we're not all of it, that they need to provide good service when they call to ask about coming to that particular business. So with most, the results that we see are they move up in the search engines and they get more patients. With others, I love to work with entrepreneurs, people that want to take their knowledge that they have in their practice or their bricks and mortar business and turn it into an online business. And with clients, some of them, I have taught them how to take their knowledge and turn it into a second business, one that grows while they continue to have their practice or their bricks and mortar business, with the goal of in a couple of years them being able to close the practice and be able to just have the online business and that be their full-time income or their retirement income. And I very much enjoy working with those that can think outside the box and help teaching them different ways to create products and services that they can sell online. They can create at one time and then sell it for years, and how to grow that business and be able to work around their life and around their schedule. So different results depending, people find me and my business for different reasons.
Well, that is definitely some great thinking there. You've got all these doctors that have studied their whole life, and all they know for many years, and eventually they're going to come to retirement. But they have gathered all this knowledge. It's great to be able to put together some kind of info product or some other product that they might have in mind that is going to continue to pay once they retire. That's great stuff, Shirley. Well, Shirley, this has been extremely educational here today. Lots of great advice from you. If somebody does want to reach out to you so that you can help them with their business, what is the best way for them to do that?
Well, my business is SCD Consulting Services, and the SCD is my name, Shirley Cress Dudley. So email would be Shirley at scdconsultingservices.com, or they can leave a message at 704-904-2642. And honestly, I've had people just Google Shirley, entrepreneur Charlotte and find me. But the best way would be scdconsultingservices.com.
Excellent, Shirley. Well, I have very much enjoyed the interview today. Thank you for all your knowledge and what you do with your business and keeping up with everything that Google is doing to provide some top-of-the-line SEO services for your clients. Shirley Cress Dudley, thank you very much for being my guest on the Trust Factor Radio today.
My pleasure. Thank you.
And to our listening audience, if you like what you hear, hit that like button and share, and we'll see you next time on the show.
You've been listening to the Trust Factor Radio with Neil Howe. To learn about the resources mentioned in the show and to listen to past episodes, go to thetrustfactorradio.com. To get a copy of the book, The Trust Factor, go to thetrustfactorbook.com. If you are ready to act now and build your authority, credibility, and trust, schedule a consultation with Neil at theauthorityarchitect.com.